Hey Bills Mafia, welcome back to the channel. If you love the Buffalo Bills as much as we do, you know this team is always looking to sharpen every edge, make smarter moves, and come back each season stronger than ever. We're not just chasing playoff appearances anymore. We're all in for a Super Bowl run. That means tough decisions, smart roster moves, and maybe, just maybe, a blockbuster trade that could change everything for Josh Allen and our offense. But before we dive into today's exclusive, and I mean exclusive, trade scenario involving a $60 million wide receiver, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button so this video reaches more diehard Bills fans like you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a beat of the offseason action. So let's talk about it. The wide receiver room in Buffalo. Now, we've got Khalil Shakir, who's absolutely earned his spot as a reliable target. Keon Coleman, promising rookie no doubt, but we don't know what we've really got until the pads come on. And Joshua Palmer, who we picked up to help fill the void left by Amari Cooper, is a solid depth guy. But let's be honest, he's not a true WR1. With that in mind, there's growing buzz around a potential trade target that could finally give Josh Allen the kind of dominant, established weapon he needs. Denver Broncos wide receiver, Courtland Sutton. Yeah, that Courtland Sutton. Let's set the scene. Sutton is entering the final year of a 4-year, $60 million contract. He's been the subject of trade rumors for a while now, and even though things are reportedly going well between him and the Broncos front office, it's still not a done deal. Now, this isn't some washed-up veteran we're talking about. Sutton is a two-time 1,000-yard receiver. Last season alone, he posted 1,081 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns, the second best numbers of his career. He's a threat at all 3 levels of the field and has legit red zone presence. And most importantly, he's only 28 this year. Can you imagine Sutton lining up next to Coleman and Shakir? That's a dangerous trio. And it lets Palmer settle into the number 4 role where he fits best. Of course, it's never that simple. The Bills are working with just over $5 million in cap space right now. Not great. And let's not forget, Sutton wants a new deal. He's looking to get paid, not just ride out the last year of his current contract. So here's the issue. Can Buffalo afford him? And if they can, do they want to commit long-term money to another receiver, especially with other needs on the roster? Brandon Beane has been a wizard with the cap before, so nothing's off the table. But make no mistake, bringing in Sutton would require some serious maneuvering. Let's play the what-if game. If the Bills do pull this off, if they bring in Sutton and extend him, what does that mean for this team? It means Josh Allen finally gets a true WR1 who can win one-on-one matchups, stretch the field, and bail him out when the play breaks down. It gives Joe Brady more flexibility with his playbook, and it puts pressure on defenses in a way we just didn't see last season, especially late in the year. Because let's be honest, the Amari Cooper experiment didn't pan out. You remember, mid-season trade, big name, 5-time Pro Bowler. Sounded like the missing piece. But Cooper came in, got banged up right away, and never really clicked with Allen. He finished with just 297 yards and 2 scores in 8 games, and barely showed up in the playoffs. Look, the Bills gave it a shot. Beane doesn't regret the move, and neither should we. At the time, it made sense. But clearly, Buffalo is moving on. Cooper's still a free agent, and with Palmer signed and a draft pick likely incoming, a reunion seems off the table. Of course, the rumor mill never stops. Oh, there's always chatter about Buffalo trying to make another sneaky trade. Maybe even moving up in the draft again like they did last year. Remember that? When we traded our pick to the Chiefs of all teams so they could take Xavier Worthy? Still stings, doesn't it? Well, this year, analysts like Chad Reuter are predicting the Bills might try to trade up again. Maybe with the Ravens, another AFC rival, to grab a receiver like Isaiah Bond or Matthew Golden. Let's be real though. Bond is dealing with serious off-field issues. And Golden, talented but might not even be there when we pick. Not to mention, why would Baltimore help us out? It's fun to speculate, but the Sutton trade, that's a move that makes sense. A proven vet, big body, big playability, someone who can help right now. Brandon Beane has options. The draft, the trade market, free agents. But with the window still wide open and Josh Allen in his prime, the pressure is on to make the right move, not just a move. Sutton might not be a lock, but he's one of the most intriguing names out there. If the Broncos are really willing to deal him, and if Beane can find the money, this could be the kind of game-changing addition that puts Buffalo over the top. Finally. And yeah, it might cost us. In picks, in cap space, maybe even in future flexibility. But when you're all in on the Super Bowl, you've got to be bold. Since Brandon Beane took over as general manager of the Bills, he's built a reputation as a guy who makes bold decisions, isn't afraid to move off players, and always has his eye on the big picture. But if there's one position where you can see a clear pattern in his strategy, it's at running back. Let's rewind the tape. LeSean McCoy was the big name when Beane arrived. But he was out of Buffalo by 2019, Chris Ivory in 2018, Frank Gore in 2019, Matt Breida in 2021, Duke Johnson in 2022, all came in for short stints and were gone. Then there was the Devin Singletary and Zach Moss experiment. Both were drafted. In the third round, Singletary at pick 74 in 2019, Moss at 86 in 2020, and both gone after their rookie deals. It's become pretty clear Brandon Beane does not like giving second contracts to running backs. Now enter James Cook, drafted in the second round in 2022, and by 2023, he was the man. RB1, Cook showed some serious flash last season, racking up big plays, looking explosive in space, and catching the ball well out of the backfield. He gave us reason to believe that this backfield might finally have a long-term leader. But now, as Cook heads into the final year of his rookie contract, there's a giant question looming over Orchard Park. Is Cook gonna break the cycle? Let's look at the facts. Cook is reportedly seeking a contract extension worth over $15 million per year. That's top-tier running back money, and it raises a critical issue for the Bills, especially considering their cap situation and how the position is valued in today's NFL. And if history is any guide, Beane's not the type to shell out that kind of cash for a running back. In fact, he never has. Let's take a closer look at what happened just a couple years ago. In 2022, Devin Singletary was heading into the final year of his rookie deal. The Bills had a decision to make: extend him early or look for his replacement. What did Beane do? He drafted James Cook in the second round. Singletary walked after the season. Cook stepped into the spotlight. Sound familiar? Now, in 2025, the Bills are sitting on 3 picks inside the top 62 and 2 fourth-rounders. And guess what? This draft class is loaded at the running back position. Dylan Sampson, Trevor Etienne. There are a number of intriguing prospects who could come in, sit behind Cook for a year, learn the system, and be ready to roll in 2026. It's the exact same blueprint. And it worked. Here's where it gets complicated. James Cook isn't just any back. He's productive. He fits this offense. And he has chemistry with Josh Allen, which is no small thing. Allen clearly trusts him, especially as a receiver out of the backfield. There's also the emotional factor. Fans love Cook. His work ethic, his energy, and his big playability have made him a favorite. So moving on from a guy like that, it stings. But Beane has always played the long game. He's thinking about the window for a Super Bowl, and part of that is managing the cap. As of now, the Bills are already tight on space. Giving Cook $15+ million per year would require sacrifices elsewhere. Maybe on the O-line, maybe at WR, maybe even on defense. And for Beane, that might be too high a price to pay. Here's where you really want to keep your eyes on the draft. If the Bills select a running back in the top 4 rounds, especially a guy who profiles as a feature back, that's your signal. That means Beane is already planning for life after Cook, just like he did with Singletary. But if they skip the position entirely, that could be a sign that Beane is open to extending Cook, or at least willing to see how things play out through the season. This is the kind of chess game that happens every offseason in the NFL, and it's fascinating to watch play out. For Beane, it's not personal, it's business. And for running backs in today's league, the business isn't booming like it used to. Let's be clear, none of this means James Cook is gone for sure. If Cook delivers another strong season in 2025 and the Bills are in serious contention, there's always a chance Beane reevaluates or makes an exception. He's done it at other positions, like Matt Milano and Deion Dawkins, but those were different circumstances. Running backs age fast, injuries pile up, and the position is often seen as replaceable, fairly or not. The one wild card in all this is Josh Allen. If Allen steps up and says, I need Cook in this offense, that could carry serious weight in the front office. After all, Beane has always prioritized keeping Allen comfortable and supported. So, now I want to hear from you, Bills Mafia. Would you make the trade for Courtland Sutton? Is he worth the $60 million investment? Or would you extend him? Or do you think we should roll the dice on a rookie wideout and keep building through the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single update on your Buffalo Bills. We've got more exclusive stories, trade rumors, and draft previews coming up. You won't want to miss what's next. Until then, stay loud, stay proud, and go Bills.